JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Espresso with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today is the 1st of November 2022. So yeah, welcome everyone. Welcome to this first trading day of a new month. Of a month of November, of course. So yeah, guys, I hope you're all feeling excited. Of course, we started the day, the trading week already yesterday, but yesterday was the last trading day of the month, so sometimes you miss out on these days. If, let's say, if you have already quite a decent gain for your month, you probably just wait this one out and then just put yourself into a new month and then start kind of fresh. So of course, somebody does that, somebody doesn't, but hey, it's all up to you guys. You are the ones who know better yourselves, so you do whatever you are comfortable with. So before we jump into the charts, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, as always, a quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our jfdbrokers.com website, which you can always check out for more information about us, guys. So, now then, let's jump into the charts. So, trying something new here a little bit from TradingView, but yeah, let's see how that's going to work. Okay, Nikkei 225, beautiful move. Look, I've talked about this downside line a while ago and a lot, and basically I said that if we push above that 208 EMA, this is going to be my next target, and then we're gonna take it from there. So mission accomplished. We've reached the downside line. Now the question here is, can we break this? Well, I would say let's wait and see, because again, it's not everything as straightforward as we would like it to be in the market right now. Well, to be honest, as always. But look, at the moment, we had like some good rallies already in the EU and the US indices. Of course, we understand that the Asian markets are also kind of reflective of what's happening in Europe and the US. So yeah, at the moment there's nothing like, let's say, big coming out, but of course everybody wants to see if we're gonna get that continuation move higher. Yesterday, of course, in the US market and the European market, we had a bit of a kind of slowdown, but again, let's see how all this is going to continue. Nikkei 225 here. Did I mention ASX 200? Okay, yeah. Nikkei 225 here, yes, managed to reach the downside line. And now the question here is, can we see a breakout through this downside line? Well, of course, a lot of bulls are hoping for that. And to be honest, I'm gonna just keep this monitoring, not really going for anything here, but if we suddenly start seeing a break of this, then yes, this of course could open the door towards some higher levels, but we'll be very careful and we'll watch if we will have a nice closing moment here, if we'll see the daily candle closing above this downside line. If it just gives us a false breakout, that's no good for us. Then it could, drift back down. So long story short, if you're looking for some higher levels, if you've missed this, let's say this move here from this 200-day EMA towards this downside line, that's fine, don't worry. Now the next thing here is to watch this downside line. If we can break it and stay above it, great, we'll go higher, or we could go higher. If we fail to do so, or let's say we make some sort of a false breakout, then yep, maybe the downside scenario is back on the table. So For the downside scenario, probably a drop back below this 200-day EMA could do the trick. Look, I'm keeping an eye on this upside line for now, but I'm kind of mainly focusing on some of these areas instead. So, for example, the 27,400 level, which I've previously looked at as a good area of resistance, now could take the role of support, and if it gets broken, maybe it could open the door towards slightly lower levels. Now, Shanghai Composite. Now, beautiful reversal back to the upside here. Look at this. I mean, boom. And look at this beautiful doji here and beautiful reversal signal. I mean, this is just one of your technical, picture perfect reversals, and it formed a nice doji, and there we go. We had a blast here to the upside, moved back above this 2,937 territory, and yep, we're now traveling to the upside. Look, previously I talked about this, and I said that if we break below this 2,936 and we stay below it, then yes, I'll go lower, where my next target will be this lowest point of April. Well, we fell shy just by a few points from reaching it, and there we go. We reversed. Look, these things happen. I mean, as I keep on saying, if it stays or below or above a certain level, then yes, we can continue in the same direction. But here you can see it climbed back up. Now this thing has to go away. This is no longer needed. But this thing here, and I'm talking about the downside line here, still is. I'll still keep it on the chart because basically it nicely I think it will be a nice area to watch, a nice line to watch, because if we clear it, then yes, this could open the door to some higher levels. But at the same time, look, I mean, at this point, I'm not going to stick to any specific level. I'm just going to stick to the downside line together with the 21-day EMA. If we break above it and stay above it, then yes, I'll go to the upside. Now, ASX 200. Beautiful move to the upside. Look at this. I mean, I talked about the level here, the 6,848 yesterday, and boom, we got the move. And, okay, I was aiming for the 200-day EMA, but okay, I'll take that. It's a good, overshoot here. But what I said before, that if we, push higher, we test the 200-day EMA. If this continues to pop further north, then my next target is the 6,993. Of course, we have the psychological 7,000 mark somewhere around here. So basically, I would say that this 6,993, 94 territory is just like an orienteer for you. So you can just kind of aim for this area roughly, but in general, maybe we could be aiming just for that psychological 7,000 mark. It basically is not far, just by a couple of pips here higher. So yeah, let's continue aiming higher, and I will do that as long as we stay above the 200-day EMA. If we don't, if we start falling back down, I'm not saying that I'm going to get very bearish or something like that. No, I'm just going to reconsider everything. I mean, try to see if we can, like maybe get a retracement here, maybe a test of the 100-day EMA or something like that. But for the downside, at this point, don't get me wrong, I might change this level later on, but at this point, I'm looking at 6,752 in order to go lower. The German index, DAX. Okay. Good move to the upside yesterday, but again, this is what I was talking about in the beginning, that the European and the US indices kind of slowed down their advances a little bit. So maybe, we could be due for a little correction. However, I'm not rushing to kind of take that idea yet, because again, this for me this still looks a little bit more on the positive side. But let me just finish my thought here, but because I'm gonna straight away rush into contradicting my own thoughts right now here. But let me get to that point. Basically, look, at the moment we are trading above this upside line taken from the low of the 13th of October. Now, at the same time, we're also trading above this downside line, which we managed to break, so that's great. I mean, looking at more buyers could be joining in here. And then, yeah, we could see this one maybe traveling all the way towards that 200-day EMA, which is roughly around these two levels, the 13,525 and 13,565 levels right there. Okay. That's like my ideal scenario. However, I have to point out another little element here of the doubt in terms of, let's say, what could happen with the downside. Just bear with me one moment. So basically, something like this. Now, again, well, let me put this maybe a little bit better here. So something like it's. Again, maybe it's trying to see something where it's not, but hey, we'll keep an eye on it, but still it could be quite interesting. So, long story short, maybe we have ourselves a nice rising wedge pattern. So maybe it's this way, maybe it's like that, so it's really tricky. That's why, I mean, it's not really, I would say, like the main idea right now, but eventually, let's say, if let's assume it's gonna respect this line. So we still have some room here to the upside. So basically some room to go and test that 208 EMA. And at the same time here we could see maybe a test of that upper side of the rising wedge. So, and this is where it might all kind of work out. Again, I'm trying to predict the future here. Unfortunately, I don't have the crystal ball, but hey, I'm going to keep this idea here on the chart. I want to see if it's going to work out or not. Again, at the moment, like I said, I'm still leaning towards the upside. And in general, although these patterns, let's say specifically this one, the rising wedge, tends to be a bearish indication because eventually it breaks down, breaks to the downside, I mean. But as long as it stays within as long as the candles remain within the pattern, still there is a chance for this one to continue drifting higher. So that's why I am still aiming for that 200-day EMA, unless I see a clear breakout here straight away, and then yeah, we could go from there. The cash index right now is sitting at around 13,354.55, basically above yesterday's close, and in a way, so this idea kind of is working out so far. NASDAQ 100. So this one is also quite interesting. And look, I mean, I talked about this one and I said that, hey, maybe, just maybe we are seeing here possible inverted head and shoulders pattern forming, which could be nice, I would say, for the bulls. If you're a bear, I would say be careful, but it could be nice for the bulls. And look, that's why I don't have any levels here yet. I mean, I can only, as levels, I can probably only put my potential targets here. So one of which is this one, the 12,062, which coincides nicely with the 100-day EMA. And the next target is the high of the highest point of September, near the 12,752.50, somewhere around there. It also kind of is near that 200-day EMA. So good potential targets, but again, confirmation breaks are needed. And again, maybe this is not going to end up being as an inverted head and shoulders. It could trade around here and then fall lower. So yeah, and it's a difficult one here. So don't rush into anything. Just continue observing the price action. Yes, the cash index right now is trying to climb higher. It's currently trading at around 11,500 zone, so approximately around there. But we need that breakout through the potential neckline here. Dow Jones Industrial Average, guys. So also not a very exciting day yesterday. We had a bit of a hold up here near this barrier, near that 32,828 level. We drifted back down, but if we take a look at the cash index is trying to climb back up, 32,925 approximately right now. So basically we are above this hurdle. We are kind of aiming for that psychological 33,000 mark, and to be honest, look, my arrow is drawn here, but actually I am aiming for this little hurdle. My arrow is basically around here, this area, the high of the 26th of August. That's going to be my next target, the 33,365 territory, if we continue to trade above the 32,828 level. If we suddenly fall back below it, because again, on the cash index we're right now above it, if we fall back below it, then I'll aim for that 200-day EMA or this short-term tentative upside support line taken from the low of the 13th of October. DXY, the dollar index. So yeah, got a beautiful hold up. Look, I mean, I talked about this yesterday and said that I'm aiming for that 21-day EMA, together with that 111.47. So, and this is what I've drawn this curved arrow here. So far, so good. everything's working out. Let's see if the rest of the idea works out, because the idea was that to see a hold up here near this 21-day EMA. If we get a hold up, then I'll consider a slide back down here towards this the 110 territory, or even below towards this upside line taken from the low of the 10th of February. Of course, overall, some of you, some of the bulls here are thinking, hey, we're still above the upside line, we're forming something of a, a possible falling wedge, so everything's kind of leaning towards the upside. And to be honest, it could still, yes, it could still pop higher here, but maybe a little bit later, and we're currently going into the holiday season, and I think that it's gonna be very interesting to see how this is gonna all play out, but I don't believe that we will, let's say, shoot up straight away here to the upside. I think we'll get a little correction here again. The question will be, for me, for example, if we do right now correct lower, I'm aiming for that 110 zone. If we stay somewhere above the lowest point of October, which is roughly around here, let me just put this one, near the 109.53. If we stay somewhere above this this low, then this confirms a higher low here, and then I could consider a move to the upside, a stronger move to the upside. But at the moment, I am just, like I said, I'm just observing this, and I'm kind of leaning a little bit more towards the downside in near term. But hey, let's see how that's going to play out. Jumping into gold very quickly, guys. So gold did push higher. Of course, weaker dollar is helping here this commodity, but at this point I think I'll have to throw in my gloves and just observe it, because again, this is all is just now in the way. These two 1642 and 1645 levels no longer are working. Have to admit that, because initially I was kind of hoping to see maybe if we drop below the 1642, then maybe a further move to the downside, but as you can see, it's not the case, so we have to adjust. I have to adjust my kind of strategy here, what to do with gold. And to be honest, at this point, I will probably say I am just gonna observe it, because whenever I have like a moment like this, let's say some of the levels didn't work out as I would like them to work out, and then we are still like within a formation of that kind, and we're kind of getting into a little bit of a squeeze. That's why I am just gonna observe this at the moment. I mean, yes, you can, from the very short term intraday, you can find these little opportunities. You could scalp a little bit here and there, up or down. But if you're looking at the bigger picture, at the moment it's not very clear. So that's why I will just observe this price action. Once I get some sort of clarity, I will definitely point out. I'll definitely kind of share this with you guys. WTI oil. This one is also still waiting for this one to make a better move here. As I said before, for the upside, I would like to see maybe a push somewhere above the psychological 90 territory. But then we have a problem with the 100 and the 200 EMAs, which could provide resistance. But if those get cleared, then my next target is the 93.62. I'm not targeting anything higher yet, unless I see these stronger moves to the upside. For the downside, a drop below the 82.54 territory, somewhere around here, kind of the last level of this area, this highlighted area, which I have. Then yes, I could consider a move lower. Bitcoin. So let's see. Okay. Overall, we're stuck in a range, as you can see. Maybe not a picture-perfect range, but still something of a range. Now, from the shorter-term perspective, the fact that we managed to climb back above the 20,000 mark, yes, that's quite attractive. That's quite nice. Let's see if we can actually, go a little bit higher from that. Let's see if we can bounce higher from that 20,000 mark. Now the problem here at the moment, as you can see, is the 100-day EMA. So far the bulls are not kind of ready. It seems that they are not ready to drag this one above it, so maybe some sort of a catalyst is required. Maybe like a better drop in DXY, that's what could help out BTC USD here to move a little bit higher. But look, at this point I am watching this 100-day EMA, a nice good push above it, then yeah, this could open the door to slightly higher levels. I'm not saying that I'm gonna get like way too excited here with higher levels, but at least aiming for this target, the 22,800 level, could be an ideal scenario. AUD USD, oh sorry, AUD NZD. So there we go, guys. Beautiful move to the downside. I talked about this and I said, look, yesterday when I was saying about this, I said, now look, if this is gonna hold, maybe a bit of a rebound here could be possible. Maybe then a test of this downside line and then a push higher, a push lower. But I said that unless it starts breaking this straight away, then yes, we will ignore this arrow here and we will just stick to this scenario right there. So if we stay below the 1.1008 territory, then yes, I will go to the downside. My next target will be the lowest point of May near the let me just double check. Is this the lowest point of May? No, wait, I think it's not the lowest point of May, is it? No, yeah, that is the lowest point of May, I think. Yeah. Is that correct? No. It was correct. I was correct here. The lowest point of May. That's the correct one. 1.0922. That's the lowest point of May. So, yep, that could be a nice good target. Let's see if we can reach that. But at the moment, yeah, everything's working out perfectly, I would say. We're moving nicely to the downside. We got the interest rate decision from the RBA, so yep, from Australia. The interest rate came out. So basically, the expectation was to see a 25 basis point increase, going from 2.6 to 2.85, and we got exactly that. So basically, yeah, they didn't really raise it way too much. So Australian dollar is getting a bit of a hit against some of its major counterparts, and New Zealand dollar is one of those. So yeah, we can see that the New Zealand dollar is strengthening quite a bit, has been strengthening quite a bit since kind of October, since the beginning of October, and yeah, we are now continuing to see that slide towards the lowest point of May, if I may say that. So yep, let's see if that's going to happen. At the moment, that's my target, as long as we stay below the 200-day EMA. If we reverse and climb back up, I will ignore this and we will have to reevaluate things again. AUD USD. So this one's we got a bit of a push here initially, but mainly on the weaker dollar. So it's still, you can see that the Australian dollar is not the strongest one. It's just that the US dollar is currently the weaker one. So yeah, we're seeing this kind of oscillation around the 21-day EMA. So not very exciting, I would say. Yeah, let's of course, let's see how today's day is going to go. Today we have, by the way, the JOLTS from the US. We have the JOLTS job opening number coming out, and of course the ISM manufacturing and ISM manufacturing ISM manufacturing PMI and ISM manufacturing prices. So yeah, keep your eyes on that, guys. Oh, and by the way, labor market numbers from New Zealand. So, but that's going to be late at night. Yep. Okay. So yeah, but that's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen with AUD and ZD in that case. But anyway, okay. So long story short, on this AUD USD, I would say at the moment I don't like it when it's kind of starting to oscillate like that. But if it makes a better move, then I'll reconsider it. But at the moment, I'm just observing it. I'm not really doing much here. USD CAD, this one continues to drift nicely within this falling channel pattern. I've talked about it yesterday. I've drawn it yesterday, and I think I'm going to stick with that one for now. Look, the only thing here I have to say that if you're looking for some lower levels, then probably a drop below the 1.35 territory would be ideal at this point here. If you want to go short, then you have to have a careful stop loss, because it could easily reverse back up here towards that 21-day EMA. And then, it could maybe break out through this falling channel through the upper side, and yeah, you could be, in a loss here. But again, like I said, if we I have this 1.35 territory, which is the more comfortable area for me, but yeah, at the moment, of course, we are within this falling channel, so there is still potential for this one to move lower. However, at your own risk, guys, and of course, risking only what you can afford to lose. USD JPY, similar story. We're reversing back down. However, this oh, there we go. This 147.65. Let me just jump into a monthly chart, guys. Aha, so we stayed above this hurdle. So okay, so this is the highest point of 1998 and we managed to stay above it. Okay, so now my question actually is, with this one specifically, will it remain above this area? Okay, that's going to be quite interesting. So at the moment, if we just apply the same logic that I used to apply here, basically that currently it's still trading above that 1998 high. Which is right here, and if we continue to trade above it, then I would say there is still hope for the buyers to step in here and push this one higher. The only thing that the sellers can probably hope for is, for example, to see, let's say, a push higher here, and then a failure to overcome this highest point of October near the 151.95 level. If we, for example, here on the monthly candle push higher, but we fail to overcome this barrier and we stay below it, this will confirm a lower high, and then we could see maybe, after, and maybe going into December, maybe we could see a nice decent decline. But again, look, I am trying to speculate here. I'm not saying that this is exactly how it's going to happen, but again, I'm trying to find some sort of logic here. However, what I'm gonna keep it a little bit more simple, I would say. So if we start falling below the 147.65 territory right here, I will consider a move towards that 21-day EMA, which is just around the corner. But if that gets cleared, then my next target is this 145 territory. However, if the 145 area gets broken, that's where it could become a little bit more interesting for a few more sellers, and then we will go slowly to the downside. But again, let's not rush into anything. Let's see if that's going to work out or not. But again, at the moment, all eyes are on this 147.65 territory, the highest point of 1998. GBP USD, okay, declined, but and stayed and not. This is what I said yesterday. Look, I said that if we stay above this little area right here, if we stay above that hurdle, then certainly there could be a chance to to get a nice push higher here. Maybe we're forming something of a bullish flag here again, but look, this is just a little bit messy, I would say. However, excluding all that, or ignoring all that messiness here, you can see that it's climbing back above this 1.1496 and it's trying to remain above that 1.15 territory. So okay, so yeah, we could still go higher here. If we continue to trade above that area, then yes, I'll aim for this 100-day EMA, and then we'll go from there. If we start falling below yesterday's low, which is around here near this 1.1460, if we fall below it, I will consider a little bit of a move here to the downside. GBP CHF, just a quick update. So look, I kept on talking about this rising wedge yesterday with you. Oh, I can see there is in the chat room Ivan Lopez. GBP USD, I just covered it, so I don't know if you've seen it or not, but I don't know if there's a little bit of a delay here in the video, maybe, but yeah, hopefully you got my view on the GBP USD. If not, you can for sure quickly just recap the video once it gets up, kind of posted on YouTube. So but yeah, GBP CHF, guys, coming back to the idea of a rising wedge pattern, which according to all the TA rules tend to break to the downside. Look, again, from all the rising wedges that I've seen, majority of them tend to break to the downside. However, we always have to leave an element of the doubt, because it's like, you know, it's like roulette or something. Yes, thanks. You're welcome. You're welcome, Ivan. So yeah, it's like roulette basically, or something, or just in general any kind of, you know, lottery here. You're thinking, yes, it's working, and then there's always that one moment where you're going in, and then it goes just against you, and yeah, it doesn't work. So that's why I'm saying always wait for that confirmation break here for me for the downside. I would say it's this area here, the highlighted one, that I'm keeping an eye on in order to get a little bit more comfortable with the downside. If you want to start looking at this idea straight away, for example, you have to accept the fact that, for example, if it starts popping above this barrier, then yeah, this is where your stop loss should be, and then, you know, you have to take that hit. And kind of, you know, it could run higher here. So that's why be careful at the moment. Let's wait and see if it starts breaking this lower side of the rising veg. Fine, that's also good. Maybe you might not take the, you know, spectacular profits here, but hey, if you just make a euro, a dollar, a pound, or a yen, or whatever, at least one unit, that's already great. If you can make one pip, fantastic, you're doing well. So GBP NZD, guys, also quite interesting, and I mean, look at this. So some of you will say, hey, beautiful head and shoulders pattern with a nice neckline here, which I've highlighted previously. So okay, that's great, could be the case. 1.9635 level, that's what I'm keeping an eye on here. I would like to see a nice good drop again below it. I'm not saying that from here, let's say if we do drop below it, then straight away we will go lower. No, we still have, let's say, let me just grab a line here. There we go. Let's use this one, because we still have this obstacle, the 1.9555. Because look, if we drop below this, this could go lower, test this area, and then rebound. Because maybe, just maybe, the neckline is actually here, not here. And probably logically, I would say let's put this here, just for, you know, for that extra kind of confirmation, I would say. So if this is, like I said, we'll keep an eye on that level, and we'll see how this is going to play out. So yep, at the moment I am leaning towards the downside, but let's take this as a level, probably a better level to watch. If this gets cleared, guys, I mean, this is, like I said, this could be a nice head and shoulders pattern where we could see a move lower. However, there's always a however. Maybe it's a bullish flag, and this kind of, you know, kills off the whole kind of head and shoulders pattern. Because look, we have ourselves a pole. This is not a very attractive flag here. Yes, could be. That has happened before, so we need to be very careful on this one, guys. At the moment, like I said, yes, I'm leaning a little bit towards the downside, but I will take a very careful approach around here to see if actually this is going to end up being a head and shoulders, or actually a bullish flag. EURUSD, so this one's drifting nicely to the downside. This is one of those moments that kind of support my kind of thinking about GBP NZD, because I see here NZD basically strengthening. I can see AUD NZD dropping and Euro NZD dropping. So let's see if we can reach this 100-day EMA. As you can see here, I don't have any levels. I am just working with these these EMAs, and one thing probably I could maybe draw just out of curiosity to see if it's going to work or not, something like that. So if that's the case, then we're seeing that we're getting a little hold up near the lower side of the falling channel. So basically maybe a bit of a rebound here could be possible. You know, we could see something like this happening here, and yep, maybe something like that would happen, and then we could, you know, drift to the downside. So again, this is, like I said, and let me just put this, let's see if this is going to work out or not. So maybe something like a hold up here, you know, it could rebound maybe tomorrow or something like that. It could travel up here, test this area, and then sell off and move back down towards this 100-day EMA. So again, I want to see if this is going to work out or not. I'm not saying that this is exactly how it's going to be, but ideally, I mean, at the moment, the way everything's shaping up, if it's correct that this is a falling channel, then we're getting a hold up near the lower side of it, and we could see a rebound. If we start breaking this lower side of the falling channel, ignore the whole falling channel idea, and then we could see, a move lower straight away. And finally, EURUSD. So this one's annoying a little bit. I mean, however, look, I talked about this yesterday. I said that, hey, maybe we'll get a nice little test of this downside line. We got the test. Great. Now we're getting a hold of. So this is why I've drawn this arrow this way. It's not a very attractive arrow, but hey, we're getting a hold up near that 21-day EMA, and as I said to you yesterday, if you want to go lower, ideally for me, I would like to see a break of this upside line. But if we already fall below the 21-day EMA, that's where more sellers could come in, and we could see a test of this upside line. So at the moment, it's a bit of a tricky one here. There's not much news coming out. Yeah, the ISM numbers from the US that could shift a little bit. But in terms of Europe. Let me just double check. So yesterday we had the CPIs, the preliminary ones. Yeah, Wednesday. And Wednesday, by the way, we have the RBNZ as well in the morning. Great, that's going to be interesting. Yeah, it could be. This week is going to be an interesting one as well. So basically a lot of U.S. news, but in terms of European news, no, not much. So we had all the news last week, basically. So yeah, so it's mainly going to be the U.S. dollar that could drive the euro here, this pair, the euro dollar, and yeah. Let's see how this is gonna play out, guys. At the moment, I am keeping an eye on this, and if this is gonna bounce, great. We could go to the upside, and I'm gonna aim for the highest point of October near the 1.0094. If that gets cleared, this will confirm a forthcoming higher high, and further acceleration to the upside could be possible. So guys, that's it for this session. I'll have to wrap it up here. I mean, I went a little bit over my time, so I do apologize for that, guys. Sorry that you had to listen to me for extra 8 minutes. So, but yeah, I hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for watching and listening. I really appreciate your views, your likes, your comments, guys, everything. So really appreciate that. So I'll see you tomorrow. Yep, 7 o'clock GMT time. For now, have a beautiful trading day. Stay safe, have your stop losses in place, and everything will be fine. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.